please open up. What's it called? The link. You can't join automatically.
Little beautiful. 13. Yeah. That was the 2.
I'm actually trying your place. I think you are trying your place. Oh, do you think that?
Madam, is there everything that you need to make noise?
No, I don't need to make noise. But I was just thinking about as you're laughing. Why do you have to laugh?
How do I explain?
Do you have to
You are
laugh? No,
telling me
tell
that
me. Do you have to laugh?
okay, it's more
Oh no, do you have to laugh?
the more you tell me about the laugh, the more I laugh.
The one you laugh, keep on laughing now.
Why won't I
Why
laugh?
won't you laugh? What do you mean? Why won't you laugh?
Nígbà tí ṣé lè gbọ́ ògbà tó ń sọ ló wọnú ilé tó ń
Oh, I won't.
fẹ́ ṣe olóńgbò ni. Why won't I laugh? Ìgbà tó bá yẹ pé bí tẹ bá rò pé ti máa bá nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá bá bẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀run ó ti
Ó ti ṣe kíní àbí? Ó ti ṣe kíní.
in how many minutes?
No, 5 minutes. You wanted. I've gone through the
More day around the idiot girl. Child, hello Kemi. How are you? Yeah. Please. I need something from you this morning.
Hello, everybody.
Don't let me see my children this morning. You know what all of you have put yourself into.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hope we're all good. Good morning. And will I say, I believe even other people from other parts of the I believe this is still morning for most. So good morning. Correct me if I say, if I'm greeting you the wrong way. Probably might be afternoon from your own end, but I know, for most people in Kenya, this is about 5 minutes to maybe 11 o'clock or so. So good morning. Good morning to everybody on the call. Kindly confirm you can hear me, just so that we're sure that we're not speaking to just it would be they were just speaking to names on the call rather than actual people behind their screens. So good morning. Hi, I see your thumbs up, Peter. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. You can unmute your mic, right? I mean, since the class hasn't started yet, you can please unmute your mic, speak, or spoke, as a friend of mine will say, spoke. Hi, Dennis. Is it Denike? Yeah, I see your hands too. Good morning. Hi, Teddy. Yes, I see your camera. I see your hand. Good morning. Thank you, Steve. Good morning. Good morning. I hope we're all good. I hope we had a good night. Thank you, Mohammed. I see your hands up too. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Joshua. Yes. Joshua Oyinda Lola. Ah, man. I'm sorry. I'm a Yoruba guy too, but I mean, I'm struggling to pronounce Yoruba names. Lolua. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I mean, I just want to hear one or two things from us before I hand over to our head technology service, Mr. Ayola, for him to drive this conversation and probably even introduce the trainers for today. But I want to quickly hear from we all. What has been your biggest takeaway from the last class? What is that thing that you learned that was surprising to you that you never knew before now? You could just drop it in the chat room, just so that we are just engaging, just hearing feedback from you. What is that thing that you've learned from the last class that was surprising to you, that was new to you, that was something that you felt like it was a big takeaway for you? So you can just drop it in the chat room so that trainers also who are coming on the class, if you need something to be more clearly explained, that could also be done from the last week class. I don't want to assume that we just had that class and it ended there. I believe some of us already have, if not most, already have the recording from the last class, right? So what is that thing?
Yeah.
What is that way for
Good
you?
morning,
Hi,
Mr.
Mr. Ayo.
Avis. Good morning, Mr.
Hi.
Avis. How are you? My name is
Hi.
Peter Odotola.
Okay.
I just got to know about the program as at when it ended last week, Saturday. So this is my
Ouch.
first time joining. So how do I have access to what has been done last week so that I can catch up with the flow of the class?
So what you can do, right? I want to believe you've also registered for the class, correct? Did you register for the class?
Yes.
I mean, for using the link and all of those details.
Yes, I use
So
the
what
link
can be done
to register.
So what we can do is to send the recording to you. I mean, it's not your fault that you're just finding out about this recently, or probably even after the class itself. So we could share that recording with you.
Okay.
I just need to be sure that you registered, because obviously we can't send a recording to somebody who didn't register for the course. You would agree with me, So
I registered.
look for your email address on the registration details, and then we can forward the registration, what's it called? The registration, the recording rather,
Okay.
with you. So Peter Odetola, that has been noted.
Thank you.
That has been noted.
Thank you.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on our discussion on what has been our biggest takeaway. I mean, I've not seen anybody's message in the chat room yet. I have over 40 people on this call. I want to believe over half of the people on this call were part of the last session last week. So Abiodun, thank you. I saw your message, learning about MMAP that can be used for analysis of most network. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. From us. Any other feedback? I mean, it would be very, very wrong to assume that nobody had anything as a takeaway from this class last week. Wouldn't that be concerning? That would be a huge concern, right? That nobody has a takeaway from the last class. It's a huge concern if you don't have any of that. So please put your message in the chat room. Let's see what that big takeaway is from your last Just do that out. My internet has glitched. All right, can you hear me now? I think my internet glitched a bit. So okay, so of course we'll dish out class first an assignment for everybody, just so that you're engaged, you have one thing or the other that you're also working on. Because this is not just supposed to be like a webinar. This is not designed for us to just speak and not get feedback, right? So it is imperative that we get feedback from you. It's imperative that we also get what your biggest learning point has been, so that we also know how best to also direct some of the conversations that we'll be having with you today. So please, in the chat room, what has been your biggest takeaway from the last class? I don't know if Mr. Ayola is here, so that
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Mr.
hello.
Please confirm you can hear me. I'm here.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So biggest takeaway. I think we have about 5 minutes to do this before I officially hand over to Mr. Ayola. Biggest takeaway, ladies and gentlemen. I see a few in the chat room, but I think I would want more. I would want more so that we can quickly highlight those and take away. Today is going to be an interesting one as well. It's of course we have two speakers, same as last week, both who are seasoned in carrying out this particular piece of work in their own respective role within the organization. So these are people who are experienced. These are people who have actually done these kind of things. So of course, as you know, it's in our usual practice to bring in people who are professionals, who are not just about it from the theoretical part of things, rather, but from a physical, from an experienced point of view. So these guys will also come in today and speak on a few things, which I believe will also be knowledge added for all of us on this call today. Give me a second. My device is acting up. I don't know why this is happening. Just give me a second, please. But while I get this sorted, please kindly send your biggest takeaway from the last class into the chat room so that we could actually see them and then speak about them. Thank you. While I try to sort this device thing out. Okay.
Okay, Abil Moses, you have a question. Good morning. Can you just okay? Accra Miguel, you have a question. Your hand is up. Can you just quickly speak up? Okay.
For now, I was just showing online. That's fine.
Okay. Stephen Tayo, good morning. How are you? Okay. Your mic is muted, Stephen Tayo, if you can hear me. Your mic is muted.
Hello, good morning. I can hear you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. So this morning we are very lucky to have some people on the YouTube. So we are going to find a way to be able to integrate them together, and our team are very ready from they are really ready to engage both platforms, both the Teams and the YouTube. So there won't be any challenges. So if you have any questions from the YouTube live, just ensure you put it on the chat section. Ensure you put it on the chat section, and we're going to pick it up from there. Do you understand? So we're going to be putting up from there. So good morning, everybody. Mr. Hafiz, please, you can still continue. We are going to be starting by exactly 10:10. So I'll take over from you by exactly 10:10. Are you there, Mr. Hafiz?
Yes.
Okay, please continue till 10:10. So I'll come back by 10:10.
Yes, I am. Yes, please. All right, sure, not a problem at all, Mr. Ayo. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. So, as I said earlier, I had issues with my device. It was just acting up. I see different messages from different people based on their experience and their biggest takeaway from last week. Thank you, Abiodun. I already commented on this. Okay, Denike, this as well. I think it will be also on the recording. I just to confirm that you actually registered for the course itself, so that recording can be sent to you. Daniel, thank you very much. Yeah, greetings to you too. Christian, the class of last week was eye-opening for me. I saw cybersecurity from another perspective. The NIST cybersecurity framework was a catch for me. Thank you very much. So it's NIST, not NIST. So it's NIST cybersecurity framework. So yes, for that's the eye catcher for most people as well. About Mmap, I'd like to learn how to use learn more about the usage. Thank you, Mohammed Gua. Thank you very much for that. Ikelua, the work that the consultant did on Kali Linux is also for people that use Windows. So I'm sure they will provide clarity on that as well. Kemi, thank you very much. Okay. You're just commenting on what Christian has said, which is an eye-opener for you, same as in this, I believe. Joshua, this is my first time in the meeting. Okay, that's great. Great to have you here. Evans, good morning to you. I want to also believe that Joshua will Okay, somebody muted me. I don't know who that is, but someone muted me. So let's be watchful on what we click on so that we don't mute others. Right? Okay, so thank you very much as well. It's really, really great to have us all here. And like I said, this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, Modesta, I think I see somebody's message saying this is them joining in also. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. I keep getting muted. I don't know how that's happening, but all right, let's see. So yeah, we're really delighted to have everybody here. This is also going to be an interesting one. Okay, 12 noon in Kenya. Yes, I believe so. Langat, thank you very much. I mean, Kenya is 2 hours away, 2 hours ahead of Nigeria. In time, so it's 12 p.m. East African time as at now. Or I mean 12:09. I want to believe. Right. So yeah, I believe this class is also going to be very engaging. Like I mentioned earlier, we have two experts who would also be discussing different things with us. And then please, if you need clarity in any area, please do not hesitate to drop those questions in the chat room for them to attend to them. And then of course they can provide even more clarity and also relate some of these things on a professional level, how we also experience it within the organization. So the recording for today's class will also be sent to us. So can you please mute? I don't know who that is. Can you kindly mute so that you don't distract us in the class? So let me do that from my end. Benita, okay. Okay, I think I've done that. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, like I said, the recording will be sent to us after today's session so that we also can go through it. We can, at our own time, look through it as well, find a way to practice what has also been learned, from today's class. So I'm sure this is going to also be very, very engaging as it is. I also want to believe the trainers are already on the call, so that they are also noticing some of the feedbacks that we're getting, and then they are able to address some of those things. I believe Mr. Ayola will also touch on some of those things, and then everybody is carried along as it is. So once again, welcome to today's class. I believe Mr. Ayola will do a proper intro more before, and introducing the speakers more before we have them. I also remember he said we're starting by 10:10. So I hope I've not eaten most of the time as well. So I'm going to start recording now so that Mr. Ayola can then initiate. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. I wish us a beautiful session today. And of course, like I said, the recording will be sent across to us. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayola. If you're ready, I hand over to you now, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you today?
Sorry, sir, you're muted.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Fizz. Thank you very much. For those of us that don't know Mr. Fizz is the chief business developer of operations of Panoramic Synergy Enterprise. So thank you very much for giving us your time to be able to hold us up to this time. And for those of us that are on the YouTube, thank you for joining us. I think currently we have over 20 people that are currently watching, 21 people that are currently watching on 23. Yeah, so the number is increasing. I'm very glad to hear that. So we tried our best to listen to you. And what was that is that a lot of us could not have access to Teams last week. So we are going to be making the videos for this week, this that means today, and the materials for today. We're also going to be making the videos for last week and the materials for last week available for you in your mail. Please, one of the things that you need to take note of, which is very important that we've hammered on or we'll be repeating since last week, is that ensure you do what? You fill in the attendance form. Yes, we are going to be pasting it on the group chats. So it's also going to be available on the YouTube live. So everybody should ensure that you do what? You fill in the attendance list. So if you have any challenge, sincerely, just put it on the chat section. If you're on the Teams live, you can interact with us directly. But if you're on the YouTube live, put it on the chat section. Our team are very ready to pick it up for you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? So they are very ready to pick it up for you. I don't have any question for us, and I'm very sure we are all clear. I don't know, before I continue today, do I have like two, three people that want to just ask me questions directly before we start today's session? Yeah, just two people. Two people. Then I hand over to the consultants for today. Do you have two people that want to do that? Okay, Tolu, are you? Okay, let me believe there's nobody that has question. So let's move on to today's uh, engagement. So once again, those people watching us from YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget, ensure you yes, for those people that are on the YouTube, you have the chance to be able to fill the attendance. Yes, we are going to be posting the link on your chat so you'll be able to see it. I'm going to be pinning it for you too. So I'm very sure we're all okay. So today, without wasting much of our time, I want to bring up the consultant for today. I'm very sure a lot of us know her already. Yeah, we know her already. If you were here last year, she was very wonderful. She's really who she really is. Yeah, she's really who she really is. When you see her, she's very wholesome. She's good. Yeah. So with a clapping ovation in the chat room, I want you to welcome with me Priscilla. Her name is Consultant Priscilla. She's going to be putting us through today. So in the chat section, please help me welcome Consultant Priscilla. So thank you very much for everybody. Please let me welcome her. Priscilla, are you there? Are you there, Priscilla? Hello, Priscilla, are you there? Hello, Priscilla. Something is wrong with our network. Thank you very much, everybody, for welcoming her. 1 second, let me try and reach her. Thought she was on the call. Priscilla, are you there? Priscilla, are you there? Please confirm if. Priscilla, please confirm we're waiting for you. Hello, Priscilla, are you there? Hello, Priscilla, are you there?
Again.
I want
Hello,
to
sir.
think
Can
maybe
you hear
she's
me?
having challenges with her. Aha,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
here. Sorry,
Okay.
my system is we thank God for its life. Good morning, sirs.
Everybody is ready to
Yeah.
welcome you. We've been waiting for
Yeah,
you
what is
to
your
Yay.
attitude?
okay. Once again, everyone, thank you for joining us for today's cybersecurity and cloud security training. Don't forget, please watch out for the attendance form. It's very important for everybody to fill it. So both of the people on the
For
YouTube,
milk.
sorry, who's tap? Who's somebody's working with my? Okay, so those of us that are on the YouTube, we are going to be posting the attendance form or link on your YouTube chat. So please ensure you enjoy yourself. And if you have any challenge, the group chat or the WhatsApp is available. All our consultants will attend to you. So with great joy from my heart and from everybody from PSC, we want to welcome our consultant for today, Priscilla Agbolusi. Over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, consultant Ayola. Good morning, everyone. My name is Priscilla Gbelusi. I will be sharing my screen briefly. I mean, so you can put a face to the name. But I think you will bear with me for a while. I'm trying to sort out something here. But my name is Priscilla Gbelusi Oluwabukumi. I am a consultant, ISMS consultant from Panoramic Synergy. And today I will just be doing a quick I'll be doing not a quick though, but I will be taking us through the second phase of the NIST framework we started last week. And consultant Damilare and consultant Clifford, who took the practical session, did a fantastic job um, to it. And I know that we could all testify to it that we're able to learn a lot from them. So just not to waste our time too much, I would like us to say or in the chat box, those of us that were around last for the last class, can we like go into the chat box and just like remind ourselves on what has been taught, what consultant Damilare talked about, so we can we can know if we are all still, or so we will know if everybody still remembers what was being taught before I go in or dive into what we have for today. So please, in the chat box, please, I'm waiting for you. Chat box, chat box, chat box. Let's see if everybody remembers maybe one or two things that you remember from the class session. Okay, I think we are all responding. Let me check. Okay, okay. Keep it coming in, though. Wow, 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 wow. This is a lot. This is a lot. Wow. If everybody is listing this out now, what's left for me to teach? Hey. This is nice. This is beautiful. This is brilliant. It's encouraging. At least it shows that our consultants are, our consultant Damilare did, justice to the last class session. So yeah. Okay. So let me just, I don't know if I can show my, let me see if I can show my face. Let's see. Please, let's confirm if you can see me.
Yes, yes, yes. I can see you, Madam Priscilla. You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
it's nice to.
Yes, we can see.
All right, thank you. So, without further ado, let's dive straight to what we have today. I will be sharing my screen with everyone. So, I'll be. You said, okay. Hey, you want to see me? Oh, God, I beg you. A moment, please. Okay, so please, I would like to share my screen now. Everyone, I think okay, it's downloading. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
All right. So I'll be diving into the NIST, the second section or the second part to the NIST framework. But before that, I would like to do a quick recap with us, on what has been taught in the last class. So I'll just take us through a quick recap on cybersecurity. And we were made to understand that cybersecurity is mainly a field that protects all our digital networks, all our networks. It's a digital platform that protects all our networks, our software, our devices, and applications from cyber threats and attacks. And we were taught about the OWASP, the OWASP 10 major tools, the OWASP tools. So, and OWASP is like an acronym called out from the name Open Web Application Security Project. So, and it provides just three major things, like for all developers, for everyone on the web application. Um, it provides the most critical top 10, web application security risk that helps developers to identify, to prevent, and to fix security vulnerabilities in software applications. So you can have free resources. It also provides you free resources, it also gives you free tools and numerous best practices for your use, so that your internet space can be a best place for you to, surf and do whatever you need to do there. And it also helps to reduce threat risk, all the threat risks that we have on our websites or on our server or even our software. It helps to reduce it. It helps us know what to do and how we should reduce it. So, and we have the three major focus points. I said is the identify, is to help protect, prevent, is also to help fix security vulnerabilities. So in the identify aspect of using the OWASP, tools, it helps you to understand for you to be able to know a threat for you to be able to know what is the cause of the threat, how a threat happened, what is it. You have to firstly identify that there is a threat. And when you identify that, it helps you understand the most common application security risk that you can use, and which is embedded in the top 10 OWASP tools. It also helps you prevent too. And when you are preventing it, you have to identify. For you to be able to prevent something, you have to identify it first and know how you also fix the vulnerabilities in web applications. So, and for you to fix these vulnerabilities, when you fix up all these vulnerabilities, it helps improve your overall usage of your softwares and other cyber security applicated um, tools that you tend to use on your web device or your web service, or however we might have it. So, and one of the major issues that were recorded over the years as regarding the use of when people do not, like before the OWASP tool came in, or it was even these things that actually um that made developers to even come together and sit down and talk about how they can be able to mitigate against such problems that arises. And one of the issues that arises was the Equifax data breach in 2017. And one of the major issues, or one of the things that were found out during this particular crisis, was that they were unpatched vulnerabilities. There were vulnerabilities that they did not pay attention to. They probably felt like, oh, it cannot happen. It cannot happen to us. But then it will happen to you. I remember there was a time we were speaking with a client, and then we were telling the client, I think we're talking about risk assessment, which we will still talk about later in the course of this program. Is that we're telling them that risk, even if you see that the thing might not happen, you should still make provisions on how you can mitigate against them in case if it should happen. But then they were like, no, it can never happen. Let's not think about it. And we were like, it's not about, nobody prays for anything bad to happen to anyone. But then you also have to put in place, like you have to identify what if this thing should happen, you know. And that was what caused the Equifax data breach. They were unpatched vulnerabilities. They just felt like it doesn't matter, it cannot affect that much, and even if it will affect, it has little effects on the organization, whereas it caused a big issue. And the unpatched vulnerabilities made it easy for attackers to be able to breach into users' personal data. They took their date of birth, their SSNs, their addresses, all the things that identify to a user. They took it and then they used it against the user. And then that's where you see some of the time scammers coming in to say, oh, that's why if you get a call from, your somebody in the morning and then impersonating to be from your bank. You see, I'm calling from your bank. I've been a victim of it. Say I'm calling from your bank. Whereas your bank will not, even if you're I doubt it. I even doubt it. Maybe if you have top people that have money in the bank, they can ask you, oh, I'm your accountant calling you from the bank. But they made use of this users data and used it against them. And the attack was, as I said, it was caused by unpatched vulnerabilities. And another type of attack that is relating to this is Capital One data breach, and that was in 2019. And the findings was security misconfiguration. There was misconfiguration in the security when the security was being set up, and attackers were able to exploit their web application firewall, and they access 100 million customer records. So they use that particular issue, just that thing that you think might not even happen, that thing that you think that it might not even be an issue, it's actually an issue. So you have to look into it and think of how organizations should be able to think of how they can be able to prevent anything or um, um, any form of loopholes in their servers, in their softwares, in their web applications. So another one, the major one that we are all familiar with, is Facebook data leak, and that was because there was the attackers were able to break into the access control of users. That's why you see some people, they say, my account has been hacked. Your account has been hacked, yes, and that was because your account was vulnerable to some things. Facebook did not put in place, the makers of Facebook did not put in place certain things, and that's why after the issue, they now brought in two-step verification. They brought in putting your email address into it, so in case if anybody wants to try and take your account or hack into your account, you can be able to get notification through your email. And that's when they also brought what's it called, all these social media accounts that we use. They joined everything together. You can be able to synchronize everything together, so at least it will be very difficult to break. They were able to synchronize WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. I think WhatsApp and Facebook majorly together, then maybe Facebook and Instagram too together. And what was the side effect of the Facebook data leak? Personal data of users they were taken, and that's why you see somebody else, you will just see that your friend will just call you and be like, Priscilla, you said you wanted 50,000 naira. What's the problem? Be like, me, I didn't request for 50,000 naira. It's not me. I don't need 50,000 naira. That's when you now realize that your account has been hacked. Somebody else is impersonating to be you. And another one, the last one is there are many more, but these are the four major ones that we had that everybody can be familiar with, that we were able to talk about. And the last one was the Marriott hotel breach, and that one is more of like injection attacks. That was the type of attack that happened. And guests data were also affected. They took guest data, and that was it majorly. So now let's move into the main work for today, which is the NIST framework. And one of the full meaning of NIST. Sorry, let me put my so that we can all be able to. Okay. Sorry, please confirm if you can still see my screen.
Yes,
we can see it.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I can see.
All right then. Thank you so much. So moving on to the topic for today, which is the NIST framework. And NIST is just an acronym, as just the same as OWASP. It's an acronym from the name National Institute of Standards and Technology. So these are technology bodies that came together to create or to present to users, majorly their business owners, companies owners, tech companies, schools and organization, framework or different mechanisms, different methods they can be able to use and manage their cyberspace. Yes, they're able to manage their cyberspace and to prevent any form of attack into their server or their network. So, and last week, just a quick recap. These are all the list of the frameworks of the list of things we'll be talking about. So, but my colleague, that's consultant Damilare, was able to touch down on the govern framework, the govern aspect. So I'll be speaking with us on the identify and the protect framework. But in the protect framework, I'll just be talking of the identity management, authentication, and access to, then the awareness training. So the next consultant that will be on call with us would take up the rest from there. So now let's move into the identity function in the cybersecurity in the NIST framework. So, and inside the identity function, we have the asset management, we have risk assessments, and we have improvements. So, and for, one of the major things, let me use, for example, now, if they say you are the son of your father, how would they know you are the son of your father? Maybe they've seen something in you, the facial feature, they're like, okay, this is him. That's you present. If they see you, they just be like, oh, this is this person's son. Then if they see you again, they probably, your surname again talks about it. It also signifies that you are the son of your father. And then maybe the household you come from too. So in the same thing in the identify function, we are going to be looking at these things. In cybersecurity, you need to know how to manage your assets. You know how to, like I said, when I was talking about the examples of the attacks that happened in most of the organizations, they did not take into consideration certain risks that can happen. So we'll look into the risk assessment, and then we'll also look into how we can be able to improve on whatever implementation that we've put in place. So for asset management, it just means identifying and managing hardware, software, data, and people and services within an organization or environment. Take, for instance, now you work in an organization, you need to be able to, and you're in the IT department, you need to be able to firstly identify and also know how to manage all your assets. You need to manage all your assets, and all your assets can be hardware as an asset, software as an asset, data as an asset, that's your information as an asset, then your people and services as an asset. They are all assets. You need to know how to manage it in your environment. So, and the types of assets that was listed out for hardware assets, we are talking of our workstations, maybe our mouse, even it can even be the it can be the desk itself that you put your system on, your servers, your mobile devices, your system, your phones, your CPU, and then for your software assets, it includes your applications like maybe Microsoft Suite, maybe your Azure, maybe your LinkedIn is an application, your WhatsApp, your emails app is an application, and then your operating system, that's the types of Windows that you use. Do you use the Linux operating system? Do you use the Microsoft operating system? Then you now move into data as an asset. This includes your customer. I said data as an asset can also mean information as an asset. So, data information is, processed data. So, so your data as an asset includes your customer records and your intellectual property records too. Your customer records can be, let's say you work in an organization that, okay, let me use for instance MTN, all these our our network provider companies. We are using MTN SIM, we are the customer. So MTN should know how to, keep and manage their customer, the NDAs that is signed with contractors, with clients, your maybe your license, the license that was given to you as a company for operation in the company. Then let's move to people and services. So services like your what example let's say you have a company now, and then there are some vendors that comes to provide you with services. Maybe the people that come to repair your generator, they are your third party vendors. People that come to help you with the ACs, to make work environment conducive for the people. That's your service as an asset. So that's why we combine people and services together, because they are all intertwined together, but different. They do different job role. So an importance of asset management, assets, if you keep records of your assets, if you know the type of assets you have, if you know how your asset works, it helps you to maintain the life cycle. It helps you to keep track on what you have. Let me use for instance my own organization, Panoramic Synergy Enterprise. They take records of the systems that they give to staffs. They take records of any of the devices, if maybe it's phone, even if it's cars, they take record of it so they can know how to keep life cycle of it. Now, I think operating system, Windows operating system is upgrading now. So there was something we did last year, and that was we asked everybody, the person in charge of it, the IT aspect of the organization came and he said, okay, he's taking record of systems that they are still in Windows 10. So that when we want to migrate, you can be able to track those that it needs to migrate, and those that it does not need to migrate, maybe they're already in the updated version, then it leaves them. So you can be able to know, what you have in place. It also helps in regulatory compliance and orderliness. So you have to be compliant with how the organization wants you to use their systems, wants you to use their assets, wants you to use the devices they give to you. You should be able to be in compliance with that. Let me take for instance now, my organization, you cannot go about telling people, oh, this is even your salary self, then nobody needs to know it. It's you have to be in compliance with it. You cannot go and be telling people, oh, this was what the MD told me. Of course, the MD told you that. He didn't tell you to go and make it public announcement. So you need to be in compliance with what the organization has put in place for which to be in compliance with. And it also helps in audit readiness too. So you can be able to know that, okay, this is what it is. If you are compliant with the regulatory of the organization, they can be able to do all this. Okay, this is what this person said, this is what this person have, and that is what we are putting there. Then they'll be able to do audit check on all the assets they have. Then it also helps in financial and budget control. You can be able to know how much you are spending, maybe to repair something. Imagine if everybody's system in the organization is faulty. No, it's not as if everybody's system in the organization became faulty in one day. It has been faulty since January 1st. But because the person in charge of asset management, or in ensuring that all assets, organizational assets, are in proper check, did not do proper check, that's when you would see that another person, that's when everybody's system now goes down, going on, I thought this was what it was, how come it is like this? And that's because they have not been proper check on everything. And that's why we say audit and readiness comes in, because if you keep correct audits of all your assets, you can be able to know how much you are spending. You can be able to know how much is going into your assets, all your assets that was listed, the hardware as an asset, software as an asset, data as an asset, then your people and services as an asset. Then it also helps in business continuity and disaster recovery. So you can, business continuity, I'm not a business continuity BCMS consultant, but because it's also embedded in the ISMS controls. When you have, how do I put it? Okay, so let me say business continuity, in a simple term, so I can be able to explain to everybody, is that when you ensure that there's a backup for anything that you have or that you need to do. Imagine, for the example that I gave of recent, now imagine everybody's system in the organization went off. And everybody could not work. That means there's no continuity at all in the organization. There's no continuity at all in the business. There was nothing that was put in place. There was no disaster recovery plan at all. So if my system is going off, the plan should be that, okay, if she's going off, there's a backup system she can use for probably a month, pending the time her system is fixed. So that is the importance of asset management. It helps you to be able to keep track on all these things that I've listed out. So I have asset inventory too. Asset inventory, this involves maintaining an updated inventory of all your IT-based assets. The example I gave the other time, imagine if the person in charge of the IT IT department, or the person in the IT department does not keep record on all the systems. You don't know what is going on. You don't even know if you have 20 systems in the organization. It's not when you now want to now do audit, they will now start asking you that I thought you gave this person system. You now be like, did we give the person system? You'll be asking those questions of did I? When did I? How did I? You'll be asking those questions because you do not keep an inventory of all your assets. So you just need to, this asset inventory now, you can create your own asset inventory type. You can create it the way you want it to be followed in the organization, how you want people to, how you want the IT department to follow it, and to say, okay, for systems, there should be an inventory for systems, who is assigned to, what are they using. Now let me take for instance the previous organization I was working at. I was in charge of inventory of all the assets. I was in the IT department. So what I do is that for every system, the person that they give it to, I'm always writing it beside it. Let's say the person is using HP or Pavilion HP. I write the person using it, the name of the person by the side, the department the person is in, what the person is using it for, and then I'll now write the date that was given to the person too. So if the person should leave the organization, and that same system will be passing down to another person that is using, to another person that is to another person that is in the organization. Maybe the person left, the previous person left, and now it's now passed down that same system to another person that comes into the organization. I would now put by the side was given to from this to this, so that they can be able to track who used this particular system throughout. If the system decides to rest in peace, we'll be able to track it. So, and it can be done by using automated discovery tools and database. So and challenges in asset management that we can have if we don't keep asset management, if we don't have a management put in place for all their assets, is that you will not be able to know the systems that are not, that are not in use. Say shadow IT. That means somebody else is using a system that was not assigned to the person, and the IT person is not aware that the system is given to another person. And then unapproved devices. So, let's say, for instance, let's say the person in charge of the IT knows that there are 20 mouse and there are 18 staffs. You're not supposed to remain extra 2 for disaster recovery. So now, because he remains extra 2, the IT person, because he feels like I'm the one in IT now, nobody will know, he now carries one, take it and go and use it in his own house for his personal system. That's an unapproved device given to you. How did you do that? So if there's no proper asset management on all your assets, you would have this. Sorry, please, can the person speaking mute his or her mic? Thank you. And the another challenges we have is the old and outdated system. We cannot be able to know which one is old, which one is new. So that's why we need to keep updates on all our assets. And we can also, it's another major issue. The last major issue that I have here is that you'll not be able to have clear understanding of who owns this. Then I say, it's me that gave it to you. You carried it and you say, no, I did not give you this. It's me. So those things can be very, very, it can be very, very, it can give a headache when the time for audits. And that's why if when it's time for audit, you will not be able to account for it. You will not be able to know who owns who owns this system. Go. Tell me the person. You will not be able to, because there is no proper asset management of it. And one of the best practices and tools that can be used is you have to implement a configuration management database system in your organization. Use automated asset tracking tools. Some organization use. So I think that would be, don't worry. Okay, so they use different tools to track down their assets. As I see some of them, they will put some organization will go as to the length of, which I like though, is very good. They will go to the length of putting in tracker on your system, so they will know if you carry your system outside a particular designated area, it will alarm them. So they will question, they will call you, Alpha, Chinedu, you are carrying my system to this place. Where are you going to? You want to sell it, or you bring it back here? Just kidding, but that's it. So another best practice to is again is to assign serial numbers or asset IDs for easy identification. Put serial numbers on it. You can use, let's say, the name of your, let me use PSC now. For PSC, it's PSE. We just use PSE slash, if I'm in the ISMS department, ISMS slash, you will not put, maybe we are 100 in the ISMS department. Maybe I happen to be number 50 that they gave the system to 050. That's number 50. So it will just help you to be able to keep track. And if you put serial numbers, there are some barcodes that you can also put on system. That barcode, you just need to scan it. Then you will know that, okay, this person is the one assigned to this system. That means this person did not take this another person's system. Then another one again is number 4 is to establish clear asset lifecycle policy. So you can know, like I gave the example of who gave the system. Oh yeah, who used this system? Who did we put this system? Who did we give this system to? How did you get to this person? So it helps you
Sorry. You cannot see the screen.
Please share your screen.
Yes.
Just stop sharing.
Hey, I'm still sharing. Let me share it.
Screen is not showing. No.
Since when, please? Did it just happen now?
Not quite long.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can we see my screen now?
All right. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So the 5th one is to, for proper tracking, like I said, you can be able to know where they are carrying the system to or your assets to. Can be able to say, you're carrying the asset from here to this place, so don't carry it there. And conduct physical verifications periodically. This is very important, especially if your organization is an organization that you work physically all the time. Conduct physical verification. Go and check if the system that you gave the staff is still the system that the staff is using. So it's not gonna be as it is. Some people can be very, very corny. They can put all the things that you put in the system you gave to them, they can put it in another system. So you will not be able to know maybe the system has left one place or if that's your system. But go and check. If it is blue system, go and be doing periodic checking. You can just say, the IT person can just go and meet the staff or anyone and just be like, how are you? Is your system working well? Okay, hope you don't have any issues. That's a way of you checking to, know if your system is still the system you gave the staff. So another other the identify framework, we have the risk assessments. So, and now this is the most important one. Very, very important. Very, very important to people, to organizations, to anybody. You must perform risk on anything you do. And I'll give you the example. Even people in the market, people that sell things in the market, you will know they perform risk on it, on whatever they do in their businesses, in their career. They always do risk in it. So now risk is, before we go into what risk assessment is, let me just give us a quick explanation on what risk is. Risk is the possibility of suffering harm, loss, or adverse effects, which causes threats on uncertainties. Now, if you go back, if we were following me from the beginning, when I did a recap on the organizations that were, that didn't follow the OWASP framework, and then they had some issues, that they didn't follow the model, or people that did not put into account certain things, you would see, as it is stated here, it said threats or uncertainties, which was the things that affected this organization was because they did not put into account certain threats. They were thinking it's not a big deal. Yoruba was saying a big deal. It's not a big deal. It cannot affect. So, and risk can be measured based on the following. The diagram here stated is can be measured here based on the following: the likelihood that the thing might happen, which is the possibilities that an event will occur, the impact it will cause in yourself. So now let me go locally before I go I don't want to say internationally, but let me go locally first. I said I was going to explain that the our market, what's it called? The market organization, market, people that are in the markets. I say market organization, people that are in the markets. imagine somebody that sells, let me give for instance, what's the most basic thing that they sell? I don't want to use pepper. Let me use pepper. So they know that pepper is now expensive. Before we can buy 15 naira pepper and they will give maybe 15 naira tomato. They will give us 10 pieces of tomato. But now you want to buy, there's not even 15 naira tomato again. Now there's nobody, it's 200. And 200 naira tomato now is 4 that is inside. Depends on your area. Your area now, the person that is selling it might be nice. Or if you go and buy from Malam, even Malam self perform risk on his business. So, pepper is now expensive. You're now thinking that how do I want to sell pepper? Now, before, the price of pepper, 200 naira pepper before is usually the price of 15 naira pepper. But now things are now expensive. If I should say I should sell pepper now, the same price, 15 naira. And I know peppers, I know the amount I used to buy. Let's say I spent 100K to buy pepper, both tomato, pepper, bawa, all of them, bell pepper, everything, green pepper, yellow pepper. I spent 100K to buy it. I need to consider my cost of transportation. And I also need to consider my profits on the pepper. So if I want to sell that pepper now, I will not sell it for the price that people know it to be before. I will add my own money so that I can also get my own profits. That is risk assessment. The person considered, the definition says possibility of suffering harm, loss, or adverse effects. So he considered it that if I should sell pepper the previous price they are selling pepper, I will suffer harm. It's also my loss, and there will be a side effect on me because I will not make gain. I will not make gain at all. So you need to consider the likelihood, which is probability that it might occur. You will consider that the probability that if I should sell pepper now 15 naira, the likelihood I will make profits is very low. I might not the risk will just turn to low. I will not make any profits. But if I sell it maybe a little bit above the current price, maybe I put my own jara. Let's say the current price now for 4 tomatoes now is 200. So you now want to get your own gain, extra jara. You will now put 15 naira, so that's 250. So my possibility I put my own extra gain, the likelihood I put my own extra gain on it will be high. I will get my profit. I will get times 2 of my profit back, or maybe times 1 of my profit back. But it will still be high, or it will be medium. And then the impact it will cause on me if I should sell in if I should sell in a low rate is that I would not gain any profit. It will be my loss. It will be complete loss. Don't even let me even imagine. It will be so much complete loss. But then the impact that it will cost on you if you sell in a higher price is that you will have better gain and your profit will be high. So that's the risk metrics. What I just explained to us now, the risk metrics that we use, that is the low, medium, and high. So let me now go internationally, as I said. Imagine an organization. Let me use, for instance, our MTN, our network providers, most especially MTN. Those of us that are using MTN now, we know what we are facing. Before, we used to buy how many gig? 15 gig for 2K. Now, I think MTN has now sat down. They've done their risks because it's like government is not favoring them. They've also done their own risk. They've done their risk assessment. They've thought that if we keep selling 2,000 naira data for 15 gig to users, we will not profit though. Because number one, government has increased their revenue. The cost of fueling to power the generator in the organization has gone up. Staff too. If you are also using inverter self, you also need to do proper maintenance check on your inverter or whatever you use. If you are going to buy solar, you need to consider the current cost of getting solar. So now these are the things that our network providers has put into place. And you're like, if we should continue in this direction, it's our loss. Let's put our own price. As they used to say in Nigeria, they say everybody will adapt. They say, don't worry, if we put the price, everybody will adapt. So they consider their cost. They performed risk on all their bundles. They say, okay, if we put, I think now they've turned, how much did they turn 15 gig to? I think it's 6.5 now or so. So that is massive. You see this, if you can look at this diagram, you see this arrow is going to high. If you can even pass high, that's a massive profit to the organization, to them. But then their profit is as where it's going to. So if we can also use that same ideology too in our life, you are going to class. I have 1,000 naira on me. Is it not pay? Is it not going to pay? My cost of transportation to the class is 1.5. it's better to trek to one place. Then when I get to, maybe I should trek half of my journey. Then when I get to another journey, use that remaining money, and maybe from that 1.5, use 700 naira to enter to take the remaining public transportation to class. Or better still, I stay in class, ask one of my friend, buy data for my friend, maybe 2 gig data for my friend, 2 gig data for me. Ask my friend to be on WhatsApp call with me, and I should be listening to the class. I should be listening to it and be hearing what the lecturer is saying, because what if the lecturer does not even come to class? So those are the things that we use to make use of risk in our everyday lives. Now we have categories of risk. We have the financial risk, we have the operational risk, we have the security risk, we have the compliance risk, and we have the strategic risk. For your financial risk, like MTN, they've thought of it. If we continue to sell 15 gig data for 2K, we will be at loss. That's our financial risk. They've considered it, the cost of the risk of their finances. They've considered it that we will be at loss, and that's why some people they also, we might not know, we perform risk on even our jobs. If we see that we perform risk assessments, on our jobs, if we see that our job is not paying us well and my cost of living has increased, what's the best thing to do? Is to move to another organization that will pay me well. You've considered the risk of your finances, that if I continue to stay here, I'm living below my means. How do they say it now? So, and your operational risk, the cost of operation, the cost of making things to happen, like I gave for MTN now, the organization now, they said that, okay, to power the generator, to be able to attend to customers, to be able to keep the server going, to be able to make, people that are using our network use, to be able to consider those that will use our network more effective, so they will not be saying there's network issues. They need to consider the operational risk. So that's why they will consider, okay, we need to increase the cost of, since fuel has increased now, we need to do this, do that. Then you have security risk too. That's why we have security guards in organizations. We have biometrics. We have so many security implementation that has been put in place in organizations, top organizations like CBN, like Microsoft Office. What's Bill Gates' office? What's the name of his office again? Anyways, let's just move on. Then your compliance risks too. Like the example I gave for my organization now, that the IT person comes to check if your system is used. You perform password policy on your system. Do you do this? Do you do that? Is it fine? Hope nothing has broken. No. Hope you are okay. Are you in compliance to what we told you to do in the organization? You also need to, because if people are not in compliance with what the rules that you've put in the organization, there will be, by the time you are doing auditing, like I said previously, by the time you start audits, you will have issues. And then also your strategic risk, you also strategize, learn to strategize. That's why our mothers, you will see mother will say, buy tomato. Maybe your mother say buy tomato 500, or let me use but that's the only way I can use to be able to explain to us properly. But let's say your mom says, or let's say your boss gives you they will give you some, especially in banks, those that are working in the banks, they tell you to go and buy, they tell you to get 1,000 customers in a month. You are thinking, how is it possible? You have to strategize though. Consider the risk when you are strategizing too. So you will know the type of customers you are going to meet depending on your targets that they give to you. You also need to know your target audience. We will get there when we get to protect framework. So risk assessment, as we've explained what risk assessment is known as the process of identifying, analyzing, and evaluating risk. And I think there's no need for me to go into this again, since I've explained that to us before. And in order to minimize, when you identify, you analyze, and you evaluate your risk, it helps you minimize the impact or the effects of whatever issues that might come along, might cause into your organization. And it also makes your organization informed. You have to make informed decisions, on how to mitigate, transfer, accept, or avoid risk. Mitigate means to prevent the risk. Transfer means maybe you give the risk to your third-party vendor to undo. You say, this is beyond my own job, or let me give it to my vendor to take care of that. Whether you accept it, okay, this is an inevitable risk. I just have to accept it. But then I just know how to, manage it. You just know how to manage it. Then maybe you should avoid it. You can also avoid it. So these are the steps for risk assessment, the steps and the processes you follow. Firstly, you need to identify your risk. You list it out. You list out the risks that can happen. What are the root cause? What's the likelihood? Let me use for instance. What example can I use for you to be able to identify the root cause to be able to know what can happen? Now, let me take, for instance, we as a human being, you need to identify the risk that can be, that can affect you. You need to identify it first and the potential threats. If you step out of your house and you're going out, we are always saying something that is only God that is protecting everybody. But then you step out of your house and then you go out. The likelihood, the threat that can affect you as a human being going out is that you can either get hit, that's car accidents. You can either, if you enter one chance vehicle, you can either get your property stolen or kidnapped. Other risks like that, other threats that can affect you. And then you can also find out what is the root cause, what can be the root cause, or what can be the thing that can make you to have accident, or when you have if you enter, maybe you were kidnapped, or you got forbid batting, or maybe your properties were stolen. So, okay, what is the root cause of the fact that I can be kidnapped, or I might be, maybe a vehicle can hit me? Is because maybe if I'm pressing my phone, or I'm not looking at the road properly. Now, take for instance, let me put this back into our organization. You need to identify the root cause of certain things especially if it's a financial institute. One of the major root causes that can affect a financial institute, the PalmPay, our OPay, all these fintech companies, that maybe if they make their server or their software application vulnerable for anybody to be able to have access to, and that's why there are some applications that if you want to sign up for it, they will give you the way they want your password to look like. They will tell you one character, one number, one alphabet, and one capital letter, one small letter. So they have already identified that the root cause of certain attacks on systems is because of their password is probably very, very vulnerable. If any of us can remember, then we don't even used to use numbers on our passwords. We don't use numbers. We just write, so people can just use their name. Let's say your name is Damola. They used to write our names. Then you say Damo. Instead of writing LA, you write LAR. Or how do we even do it then? And then the potential threats too, you also need to identify it too. Then you need to analyze it. That's when you will know the likelihood and the impacts, so you can be able to know the severity in the organization that the risk can cause. And you also evaluate and prioritize your risks. There are some risks that they are not it's not as if, don't get me wrong, like I said, all risks are important, all risks are to be considered. But there are some that you need to prioritize more than the other. There are some you need to prioritize more than the other. And that's why, if you look at it here in my screen here, when I was talking about risk assessment, the definition of risk assessment, it said that it helps you to know how to mitigate, transfer, accept, or avoid. There are some risks you can accept. There are some risks you cannot accept that you need to work on. So if you've evaluated and prioritized your risk, you cannot be like, this can still wait. Not as though we will not put anything in place. We'll put some things in place, but it can still wait. It's not as important as, if it affects anything that can affect our money, and that's why the financial risk that was explained here is consider if it's going to take too much of your money, or it's going to remove from your money, or it's going to add you more money. Anything, there are some organizations that they consider the risk on their finances, anything from 0 to 10 million. They say it's nothing. What is 0 to 10 million? 10 million is nothing on our organization. I remember a client telling me that 10 million is nothing to us in our organization. I said, even if it's nothing, there will be a time that 10 million will still be something to your organization if it will happen to you. I say, as some organization, maybe their own is from 0 naira to 100,000 or 1 million. You say it's nothing to the organization. It cannot affect the mode of operation in the organization. But you still need to know. You still need to put it into place because you have lost money. Imagine you are saying 10 million is nothing to your organization and you lose 10 million 3 times in a month. You calculate the whole money, that's 30 million. You will not sit down and be like, something, we need to look into this. And that's why, because some organizations feel like 0 to 10 million is nothing in the organization, that's why some staffs go to steal from the organization because they know that the organization will not take it as a big deal. So it's until when they steal big money, the organization will now think, which is not supposed to be so, actually. It's not supposed to be so. Then you also need to, number 4 step is to implement controls by applying various security measures. That's your policies. And I was getting messages from most of us participants on the group chat where they were saying, why is he talking about policies? Kozonta and Damilare, why is he talking about policies? The policies he was explaining then is applicable to everything downward, everything that we'll be discussing in this 8 weeks training. It's important. Those policies are important. Very, very important. There are some policies, especially if you have an ISMS if you have an ISMS certification in your organization, there are some things that before the auditor gives you the certificate, you must be satisfied, he or she must be satisfied that you've put in certain policies in your organization, is in place in your organization, especially if it's an organization that make use of IT tools, and then also monitor and review your risk, to keep track on the risk. So the framework, we have the NIST framework, which is the one we are talking about now. We have the ISO 27005, which is, and that one is also a framework that we use for most organizations, And then we have the factor analysis information risk. That's when you factor out some things too. So the next one under identify is the improvements. This is about continuous improvements. When you go to the hospital, you just collected, let me say you just got well, maybe you went through an operation, you come back, there are some things the doctor will tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't sit down like this, stand up like this, don't drink water like this, drink water like that. It's to help with your healing process, to make it continuous, so you will not have to come back to the theater. The same thing with organizations too. You need to, don't say because of I've implemented ISO 27001, which is ISMS, you now feel like you don't need to do anything again, or you've implemented business continuity in your organization, you don't need to, just leave it alone. We already have our certificate, you put it there. Or let me take for instance, because you went to school and you get your certificate, you now feel like I'm done, Jerry. You now put it, you now hang you go and laminate your certificate, you now put it on the wall in your house. So if anybody should come in, they'll be seeing it. That's you study medical science lab, or you're a medical student, you say, yes, I just finished last year, that's why I put it there. No, you need to put that education does not stop in your university. That certificate, if you still want to pursue your medical field, you go and make use of that certificate. You apply to different hospitals, you apply to you apply to different what's it called, different medical platforms. You go, if you want to further your education, you further your studies. If you notice, most of our professors in our schools, they still read to now. Even if they've gotten to their professor level, they still continue reading because there's new thing to improve on, new thing to learn on, new things to put into place. A 1980 lecturer cannot come and be teaching a Gen Z generation the way he was teaching the 1980s generation. He has to put in place certain things. He needs to improve the way he will talk. I remember one of my lecturers there when I was in the university. And my lecturer was just, trying to mingle with us. Old man, he will now wear jeans and sneakers. And normally in their generation, they just wear their native and their... So as like he's trying to blend, the way he would talk to us. If you say, let's go to the cafeteria together, he would take us there. He's trying to mingle with us, improve on the way he would. When he mingles with us more, you'll be able to know how he can teach us well. So, and then lesson learned from the incidents too. You need to learn well, you need to learn from incident that has occurred. So, and continuous improvements, why is continuous improvement important, or why is it important in cyberspace? Process of removing past security breaches by implementing corrective action plans, adapting to emerging threats, consider new threats. There are some new tactics that these hackers are using now. You need to consider it in your cyber or in your tech space or in your organization. Policies are improving every time. ISO 27, the ISMS control policies now, before organizations were using the 2013 version. Now they've migrated to the 2022 version. So there are new things that are coming up every time. And you also need to, okay, so that's it. So we are going to the protect framework now, the protect under the cybersecurity framework. And I just told you that we just be doing the identity management, authentication, and access control, then awareness and training. Stephen, can you please hold on until after the class so we can take your question? Thank you. So in the identity management, authentication, and access control, it just gives you guidelines on how you should maintain only authorized users who can access critical resources in the organization, and also reduce unauthorized access and insider threats. And these are the following key elements from this particular control. You need to put in place identity management, which is where you can be able to assign unique identities to users. Your authentication, where you need to verify the user that is trying to, use a particular application. And each user, when you identify them, you give them unique passwords, or maybe you take in their biometrics, or you use, some organizations, especially top tech organizations, they can use your iris, your eyes as a biometrics. You can use your behavior self. Maybe it's a camera. You have to act in a funny way before the door will only open if you can only act in a funny way. If you watch all those tech-based movies, we can be able to understand what I'm talking about. Then authorization, you segment who can have access to what. And privileged access management, where you restrict access permissions. It's not everybody that should have rights to certain things. Like our parents' phones. The only people that have access to our parents' phones is our parents. Because they know if they give the phone to you and you know their password, it's either you use to play game or you watch movies, or you call people, or you call people with their phone, or you even steal. Some people steal, it goes outside and they steal, maybe they take their mommy's money, or let's say your parents' password to their ATM cards. So those are the things. In fact, we can see that even our parents perform risk assessment on with the children, and they put in place this NIST assessment framework. They put it in their everyday lives too. So under the identity management, which is the first one, it helps you provide guidelines in ensuring the CIA of data is protected. What's CIA? That's confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data is kept. And the methods that we use are the role-based access control. In your job function is only one person. Those of us that are working in an organization, or let's say, let me take for instance the supermarket we go to. If you go and buy something and let's say you exceed the money in your account, you tell the person that is giving you, that is helping you pack your orders, you tell the person, please remove this. The person will tell you, I don't have access to remove this thing. Okay, let me call the person that can give authority to be able to remove it. So the person will come, put in her password, the password I was given to her, then she will now remove whatever you want to remove. It's not anybody that can remove anything. Because if they should give the access to everybody, there will be a lot of massive loss. According to the risk assessment, financial loss in the organization. So we have attribute-based risk assessment. That's your location. Let's say you can only have access to this thing when you're in a particular location. Identity, governance, and administration. That's your policies, biometrics, authentication, where I explained that fingerprint and facial recognition or iris scans, your eyeball scans can be used. And identity management, identity maintenance best practices are periodic reviews must be done, compliance and auditing, just a repetition of what we've explained before, proper monitoring of all the accounts, your devices, your assets, maintain an accurate password management policy, and steps to maintaining. The second one, which is authentication here, is that you must have, I said definition states that where you identify that is this person that is trying to get access to this person, the right person that is trying to get access to you, you need to put in multi-factor authentication. That's where your two-factor verification comes in. Your OTP, as I said, if you are trying to get to your account, there is usually an OTP sent to you, and they will tell you when they send you that message that do not make this visible to others. It's only for your use. So that's it. Use of biometric authentication. That's your fingerprints, your thumbprint, anyhow. Your password policy updates, you need to update it. Organization, every 3 months you must update your password. Every 6 months you must update your password. Update it with the steps that they give you. Then behavioral biometrics, like I said, there are some, before you can have access to a particular room, when the thing that is scanning you to ensure that this is you, you need to act in a funny way. Maybe you need to laugh, or before the door can open, or different things like that. Then you have authorization and access control models. We have the risk-based access control. We have sorry, that's I put that twice. That was a mistake, please. Zero trust model. That means say I trust this person in my heart. This person can never do that. Okay. You have discretionary access control, where you be like, okay, this person should. Our time is going. I would have gone deeper into this. Then you have mandatory access control. It's mandatory if you are the head of a department. It's only you that must give access to this thing. If anybody needs it, it's mandatory. And before you must even give the person access, the person that has the right to give someone access must also consider certain things before you can be able to give the person access. Please, can you still hear me? Let me know.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Sure.
The fourth one is privileged access management, which is the just-in-time access. It just gives you. Please, somebody's mic is turned on. Can you please turn it off? I can hear myself. So, which is the just-in-time access? That's it to give you a particular. Let me take for instance. If we send those of us that use Microsoft, we use this OneDrive, this Microsoft OneDrive. It will send you an OTP pin to your email. When you send it, it will tell you have 30 minutes to use this pin. After 30 minutes, the pin will expire, and then your system, the particular drive you are trying to access, will be locked. That's an example of just-in-time access. So once the time that they give you the password to be able to access the drive goes off, you will have to log in again. And that's why that's the issues almost everybody is having now, because even me, I get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, why is it every 30 minutes or 10 minutes or on 1 hour, everything will just lock up. I don't have the time to be going to my email and be, putting pin again. So that's just in time access, but that's to help regulate the access to the drive. Privilege accounts session monitoring and recording, explain that. Role-based, we've explained that. Privilege access governance, and that's compliance efforts. That's when you use your password policy. We've already explained that. So we have awareness and training, which is the second one under the protect. And awareness. They say, what is awareness? You need to be aware. You need to know. It refers to the process of teaching individuals about certain topics, risk, or policies in order to help them comprehend its importance without them having in-depth knowledge. You don't need to have in-depth knowledge of certain things before you know that you are supposed to put in certain things in place. So, like for your password now, if you don't put password on your system, on your phone, nobody needs to tell you that. If you don't have password on your phone, if somebody should steal your phone today, trust me, your money, all your accounts, all your software that you use, that you're using to talk to people, everything, they will use it. They will make use of it for their own interest. The person that steals your phone makes use of their own interest. So and it's also, awareness also means broad knowledge and understanding of concepts to be put in place, for people to be able to understand, and especially in the tech space, in the cyberspace, your cyberspace, you need to put in certain understanding and concepts in place. Like I've explained, the password policies, all those things, the policies that we have, clear screen, clear desk policy, your access control policy, your asset management policy, your business continuity management policy. All these policies must be put. You need to understand it. You need to understand it maybe on a ground level. Then the rest can be understood by the person, by the people in charge of that particular, maybe the people in charge, people in IT. It's mandatory for you if you're in IT. It's mandatory for you to know these things. Maybe if you're not trying to explain to somebody in business development team, you can just give them awareness session. But you as an IT person, it's mandatory for you to know it. Then training, it involves, having educational programs. You plan it out where you have your awareness training sessions. And types of awareness training programs that you can have. You can have role-based trainings strictly for the people that owns the management positions, head of departments, maybe the finance head, the HR head, people that need to know certain things, especially if it's in a tech environment, they need to know. And IT teams, that's why I said it's mandatory for everybody in the IT teams to understand and to know something. I remember one of my sessions with a client, myself and my colleague, we were telling the client that everybody in this particular IT department must know this thing. Everybody is mandatory, because what if the auditor should call you to speak and you're an IT person and you don't know it? You start saying I will not be like, you people are not ready for your implementation yet too. So you need to know them. IT teams need to know, and general staffs and individuals where they don't need to know much, but on a ground level, certain things they need to know. And phishing simulations awareness. That's when you know malicious links, websites and emails. Those of us that were present during the last cohort, if you remember well, when there were the person who took, one of our consultants who took the practical session, gave us sites that we can use to check phishing links, that we can use to check if this link is, a malicious link or is a good link. Maybe we'll reshare that again for everybody to know, and you're able to check websites. So you just don't click on any link. And then he also told us that one of another awareness of phishing simulation stuff you can have is to know what's the name of this thing? I've forgotten what I wanted to say. This spirit help me. Where they okay, yes, you can use your incognito web browser. Thank you, God. You can use your incognito web or browser to check, so that at least it's not as if your email is on it. So security awareness training, like your remote work policy, if you're working remotely, these are the things you need to put in place. Data classification, there are some documents that is classified confidential. It's not for anybody to use. Internal, it's not for anybody to use. External, maybe everybody can use it. Then your other things like that. So the following are to be considered when you want to have an effective awareness program. You need to know your target audience, study your environment, use interactive training modules, teach based on trends. Like I said, I used the example of my lecturer. He was, trying to mingle with us so he can be able to know how he can be able to teach us better. So in the same thing in our IT environment, the cyberspace, we need to know our target audience. We need to know who our customers is. Like fintech companies now, they know their customer. That's why I commend PalmPay or other financial institution like that they don't collect charges on every transaction you make 5 days or something. It's because they realize that the money on removing charges too is actually a lot. So they've put in certain things in place that, okay, we need to know our audience, understand them. That's why till now, I don't think till 10 years time they can be able to remove that thing, because they've already make people, that's what make people even want to even use their application more. So you also study your environment, use interactive training modules like pictures, things to like pictures like this. People can be able to understand what it is. Then teach based on trends, that is ongoing security updates. Teach based on trends in the IT space. There was a trend that was going on where people will send you, they will impersonate to be somebody else. Then you will not click on the links. Then when you click on the link, you now go to another website, and you were thinking maybe, oh, that's the right website you're going to. Whereas it's scammers that are trying to hack into your system. So, and continuous learning is important. You need to learn. Continuous learning, it can never be over exercised. You need to have more cybersecurity awareness updates. You need to know it. Monthly security games in organizations. These are the things. These 6 things that I listed out here can be used in organization. maybe every month you can just have cybersecurity awareness updates. Maybe you send to people on their mail, or you have like a board where if everybody is going into the organization and going out of the organization, they can be able to see, monthly cybersecurity game. Maybe you can say, what is the latest trend? Maybe a game. What is the latest trend in the organization? Then if anybody now answers you, you will now say, okay, 10,000 naira for the person. It will make people want to be eager to know what exactly is going on again. Security drills and simulations. Maybe it can be a puzzle. It can be, things that will be able to put people's mind into work and be like, I need to be active. What if they ask us this thing in the organization? I know there's a prize to be won. So security awareness in everyday life, you yourself as a person, you need to know. There was a time I entered the public transportation. This woman put her phone on the highest. The brightness was in the highest, and she was pressing her phone. The person beside her was looking at her phone. I was behind. It just took the grace of God in me not to, give that person that is looking into her phone a spank on the other. What are you doing? Because I could not take it as an ISMS consultant or as I say ISMS expert. I couldn't take it because I'm like, these are the things that people should know. You're not, especially if you're in public space, you're not in your own personal space. You need to know. Even if you're in public, CCTV camera self can pick whatever is on your phone. If you're not self-aware of your devices, you're not security conscious. And that lady was reading all the things she was saying. I was just like, God, I beg, it's not my business. But please let it be a part of us. Let it be a part of us. As just as you know that you cannot step out without wearing your slippers. That's a self-aware something. Some of us. But some religion accepts that you don't wear slippers. But if you know you can't wear slippers without going out, you are self-aware. So the same thing when it comes to the security of your devices, your softwares, your applications, be aware. So ambassador program like this that we are doing, testing and drilling of staffs after assessments, you give them tests after. And we already said it that after the 6 months, 8 weeks training, there will be an assessment that will give you given to everybody. And these are some of the best practice tools that we can use. I've listed them out before. So yeah, so that is it for me. So yeah, I think that is it for me. I would have loved to give us, a test. I mean, an assessment, but I think our time is fast spent. But if you have any question, I don't know, Mr. Yola, I'm done already. I don't know if you have any questions for me, or should we take that after? Anyhow, I don't know. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. Good morning. Thank you very much, Consultant Priscilla. Actually, I have one question and I've raised up my hand. She asked me to hold on to the end of the session. When she was, when she was explaining improvement.
I'm with you. I think it's network. Or can anybody hear me? I don't know, maybe it's my network.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so
Yes, we can
pending
hear
the
you.
time he comes up, somebody said kindly explain hardware security tokens. So I mentioned it previously in my slides. You know, I gave an example. It can be your OTP pin, it can be your password. Those passwords they send to you in your if you want to access a particular thing, it can be your password. But it's let me say hardware, hardware devices are physical devices you can touch, you can feel, you can see. Software devices are devices you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel. So, and when we talk of hardware security tokens, it's just the security, the things that you put in place in accessing your hardware devices. Like my laptop is my hardware device. So for me to be able to access my hardware device, which is my system, there needs to be a security token that I must have put in place, which can be my password. It can be my thumbprint, or it can be maybe an OTP pin or however it may be. And you can also, if you want to access, maybe, let me use for instance, most times there's this thing, if you go to computer, those of us that are in Lagos here, or if you go to computer village, wherever you are, where they deal with hardware devices, they usually use USB inside the, what's the name of this thing? This, they used to put it inside the, is that they put it beside the phone, the system, they put it in the phone, or they put it on, what's the name of this, see the CPU? No, not the CPU. Yeah, I think it's the CPU. Yes, they'll put it in it. So you'll be able to, no, I don't think that is it. I've forgotten the name of this particular device. So they would, if they put in the USB inside. Sir, are you saying something? Okay, so if they put it inside the device, or adapters, if they put it inside the device, it can be able to give you access to the system or to access into the tools. That's why hackers, if somebody should steal your system now and they know that they cannot be able to get into your system without your password, they will there's this USB, they've already programmed some things in the USB, they will just put it inside, override your password, and have access to your system. So those are the security, that's an example of security tokens that they use that, people make use of sometimes. So I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. It's just things that you've put in place. The things that you've put in place in order for you to access your hardware devices, your devices, and it can be your, OTP pin. If you put in, let's say you connect your system to your phone now. So for you to be able to have access to your system, there's an OTP pin that must be sent to your phone before you can be able to use it. So those are the things, security measures that they've put in place. So somebody is asking for the link for the attendance form. It has been posted. I think Maureen posted it, so we can check. IMS. When you say IMS, are you talking of integrated management system? Please, can I know? Adu Edwin said, what is the how important is IMS to cybersecurity? IMS can be anything. IMS is integrated management system. It can mean when you combine, let's say you do implementation for both ISMS, which is information management system, and implementation for SMS, which is system management system. It's still an IMS. You integrated their processes together. You see how it can fit in together. So, and both SMS and ISMS are IT-based, they have IT-based controls, certain IT-based controls, So, and these are the things they need to put, sorry, please. There are certain things they need to put together. There are certain things they need to put in place, like your what's it called? There's cloud, there's software policy, there's your password policy, there's your so many access policy, access control policy. So they are all intertwined together. So it's very, very important. It's very important. in fact, it's not even IMS to cybersecurity, because IMS is the management system itself. Cybersecurity is embedded inside them. It's not as if there's separate thing. They are all inside ISMS. Cybersecurity is there. So, and somebody said, "Are you taking Robert?" I don't know what that is. Please, what is? Are you taking Robert Doc or that? Please help me explain it very well. Another person said, what does IDIM stand for? So ID, as I said, let me see if I can share my screen so you can see what I mean. Let me share my screen so you can see what I mean. So when I showed us the topics that we'll be looking at today. So you see, for each of the functions that we are looking at, there were acronyms given to them. So GV means for govern, ID means for identify, PR means for protect, DE means for detect, RS means for respond, recover means RC. So you said ID. What was the question again that you asked? Let me check. You said, what does IDIM stand for? So this is ID, which is identify. IM means improvements. So it's an acronym. So we just did ID dots, the acronym of improvements, which is IDIM. You can see it by the side, everything by the side here. So it's not like as though there's a special it's just like an acronym that we give to them. So let me see. Someone said the link is not working. Somebody said, Consultant Priscilla, please, what does the IDIM represent under improvement? I already explained that, Mr. Stephen. Oh, that's Mr. Stephen that was having issues with, us hearing him. So ID is stands for identify. IM stands for improvement. So it's an acronym that it's not as though we were the one that gave up the acronym. It's an international acronym that every IT person knows. So some people are having issues with this. Okay, so I think the link has been posted again. Somebody said I'm not seeing anything on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Madam Priska, for clear presentations. I have a question on conducting risk assessment within the organization. As per NIST framework, there is a specific period to conduct a risk assessment or depend on the organization policy?
There is what? Please come again. I'm having issues hearing you. Can you please come again?
Okay, I'm saying that I need to get an clarifications on how to conduct a risk assessment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, hello. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, sir, before Modesta moves on, Ibrahim Rabiu said, person is trying to tell if you mean rag device or rubber duck. Say, I mean anything that can impersonate, anything that can give you access to your. I think the person was talking as regarding to the USB that I said USB can be used as when the person asks what a hardware token devices or software is. So yes, and the thing is this with all these things is that what you are actually acting off is what I actually mean. The thing about these things is that's why you see most organizations, they prevent or they lock up the USB ports on systems, so you cannot be able to, inject whatever it is that you're not supposed to put in there, because it can be very, very limiting. But in cases whereby there's a situation, maybe they can't be able to access that system, or they need to access the system, they make use of that. They impersonate as the person into the system. So yeah. So Modesta, you can go. Can go on. Can I ask my question, please? Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, my question is this. The major issues recorded according to you, the Equifax data breach, which is 2017, Capital One data breach, 2021, and Marriott Hotel breach, 2018. Is it possible we know the places it happened? At least when someone is talking, maybe we can have full fact of it. Thank you. You want to? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. No. I can use the chat GTP. No problem. I can do that. No. So that reason I'll go with chat GTP because it will give me broad this thing of it. Yes. Sorry, I can still say it now so that everybody can. Those that might not be able to. Okay. All right then. I think Onikende is raising up his or her hand.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you for the good presentation.
So my that I want to ask, if one wants to enroll in going for a professional certification on cybersecurity, do you also have a firm where you train people for this? Then if there is, how can we get in touch so that we'll discuss the modalities for it and all of that?
Okay, Mr. Yola. All right.
Hello.
Training guides.
You should put that in chat box.
Training guides.
Hello. Yeah,
Adoma.
please. I can't see the attendance sheet on the page.
Olarinde, Olawale, do you need to say something? Because like maybe you want to sing for us. I don't know. Your mic is on. Thank you. Abdul Rahman can speak up.
Yeah, good morning. Please, I'm asking of the attendance form. Is it on this link on the WhatsApp page? I can get it. I'm just asking.
It's on this. Check the chat box, please. And for Ebenezer, you're saying it's showing other people's information. That has been corrected. Maybe the one you are clicking on is the previous link before. So please check the chat box. The new link has been posted for us to use. Please, who is Mr. I think there's Maureen that is reposting it. That's Maureen is the one causing issues here. It is Maureen. I think she was asking of the link. She has already said.
Please. I can't see the attendance sheet on the page. Yeah, hello.
Hello, Adoma. Please check the chat box.
Please, the attendance sheet. I can't see it.
It's been reposted, Adoma. Can check it. Emmanuel, you can speak up. Let's have you.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. I'm trying to fill the attendance sheet, but it's not filling. I don't know why.
It's not what?
It's not filling. Hello. Okay, boss.
Kennechuku, you said What if you edit and don't edit? So please do not do that. The new sheet, Mr. Ayola will project that now for us to see, so we can be sure of it. This is one of the things we are talking about, cybersecurity. So we need to be security conscious. If we edit your details into somebody else's link, so yeah, the new link will be projected. Please, let's hang on. Charles, thank you very much. Thank you.
I I can't find the attendant. Okay. I
Okay.
can't see it.
Please, I'm just asking if I'm using a mobile device, how do I locate the chat section that you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. But the link is not working. Oh. Hello. Hello, boss. The link is not refreshing. It it has the person who fills the form details on it. Okay.
Emmanuel, you can mute your mic now. Gideon, you do want to say something?
Hi. So with regards to the tiny.url, when you click on that link, it still has the previous information still on it. So whoever clicks on that still has like information on the other one who filled the form. So basically, it's either we click on the open blank form in order to fill it, because the tiny.url still gives the same feedback as like the other person was saying. I just wanted to put
Just
it out.
open blank form and fill your own there and submit.
God saves, do you want to say something? Your mic is muted. Do you want to ask a question?
If there's any way we can confirm that we fill in the attendance list, moving to the only criteria and can do.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me?
please? Okay, I can hear you properly now.
I want to ask if there's any way we can confirm that we match the attendance list, since it's the only criteria that material can be released. Is that possible?
Okay. Yeah, the person in charge of that will be checking that back end. So we'll get back to us on that. Thank you.
Sorry, Priscilla, sorry, let me come in here and just give you guys a little assistance. So everyone, once you open this attendance sheet, of course, what you see a replica of somebody's information. It's very simple. Click on open blank form and then you fill your own and you submit. And upon submission, of course, the system, you will have a message that it has been submitted, so you know that you have submitted. And if you try to resubmit, it will pop up a message for you saying that you have submitted already. So there's no need of now doing a resubmission on the attendance sheet. It's very simple. The first one, what you see is somebody's detail. Overlook that, click on open blank form. You will see it on a dark form. Information, just click on the open blank form and then you'll be able to now fill in your information and you submit for at your attendance. That is as simple as that, so that we can move ahead. Thank you.
Or can you repost the link again, because I can't see it? Can you please repost the link?
Now, what you can do, the link is actually there. Just scroll through. You can do, just as you are scrolling up again, you will see the link. I think Ayola posted the link around 12 o'clock.
Ayola posted it, and what I'm saying is that you cannot edit your response.
Good, because you have submitted earlier, so there's no need for you to.
I've not submitted anything. I've not submitted anything.
So once you click on that link, once you click, if Priscilla can allow me to share my screen, I can just put everybody through, even though I'm not there. Let me just show you something, everybody. Just permit me to just show. All right. So just let me know if you can see my screen.
Okay.
So fine. When you open once you click on that link, you'll see this information pops out with somebody's information. You understand? Below, you will see this information.
Okay, open blank form.
Click on it.
Okay.
It will open a new. Like for me, I have already responded. So you see, I cannot go ahead to do anything. You will see you've already responded. So if you see this, it means that you have filled your attendance sheet for the day. So there's no need going back to edit your response. Let's if you maybe there's a mistake, then you can click on this, edit your response. Then it open for you. You can see this my detail that I submitted earlier. Then I click on submit again. It goes back. I don't know if that is clear.
Can we have the link?
Very clear, sir.
Is it the
All right.
same link?
It's the same link. Just you are working on the same link. Just click on the same link. If it opens and then it opens with somebody's information, click on open blank form. Once you click on that open blank form, you will fill in your own detail. Now it gives you a blank form. Fill it in, click on submit, and we are all fine. It's as simple as that.
That's the registered link, right?
Exactly. This one here. If you can see my screen. I hope this helps out.
Hello, please. I can't see the link to the attendance. I don't know if you can reshare the link.
LOC, click on chat. When you click on chat, it opens your chat room for you here. Scroll down, you will see this. I think George Aman also sent another stuff, but Ayola have sent us earlier. So click on the information on your chat, this link, it will open for you.
Yeah, I think I tried, but it's empty.
No, sorry, don't click on what, George, please don't send this again, please. I think you're not giving the right thing. Look for what, look at this here, tinyurl.com. When you click on this, it will open that site for you, and then you'll be able to fill in. Just click on open blank form and fill in your information. I don't know if that is clear.
Okay. I think I get the right link now. So this
All
one
right.
is showing another person's details. So what you are saying is we should clear that.
So click on open blank form. Click on open blank form. You should see this open blank form.
Okay.
Fine. Click on it. It will open a blank form for you, like this.
So
fine. So fill in your details and you are fine.
Appropriately.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Ayola and Co. You're welcome, sir.
So submitted.
Sir, I don't know whether this my question is related. I was trying to install the Kali Linux yesterday, and after doing everything, when I wanted it to start, it was giving me error and it refused to start. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. I believe I'm audible enough. All right. So, yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Consultant Ayola. So, basically, is it the incident response or when do they do a risk assessment? Now, for the incident response, I mean, if the organization is ISO 27001 compliant, so they should know when to do that. But it's advisable, depending on the organization, they should do it periodically, right? So, I mean, some organizations like fintechs and other organizations, they do it, let's say 3 to 4 months. It just depends on the organization. But it's advisable that every organization should have a periodical time when they conduct their risk assessment. Now, to the second question, Madam, I think at the end of this question, section, I will drop a link. Are you trying to install? Have you installed the virtual box?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what error are you getting?
Sorry, because last night when I was trying it, I wanted to screenshot and send it on the platform, but it said it was only admin, so I really can't remember the error. I just know that it was flashing error message and not opening.
Because do you go to virtualbox.org?
Yes.
Okay. Then when you what system are you using, Mac or Windows?
It's Windows.
Do you
Windows
click on the
11.
Windows version?
Yes, on that's the upper part.
Okay.
That's
Then
the upper
for the Kali, which of the Kali do you install? Do you go to kali.org?
I went to kali.org and I installed the middle one, 64 something.
64-bit.
Yes.
Wow, I mean, this would, I mean, this might take a lot of our time. But can we do this after the training?
Okay, no problem, sir.
I will drop a step-by-step on how to install Kali.
Okay, sir.
Right? Because for us to wait, Kali ISO is about, is it 6 gig? Because I believe the one you have might be corrupt now. Probably you didn't download the actual version. Probably you download a VM version of Kali. It won't work with VirtualBox. So that might take a lot of our time. So after the training, I will drop a guide on how you can install Kali on VirtualBox. Right?
Okay.
All right. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. So my name is Jackson Godwin. I'm a certified ethical hacker. So today we are going to get our hands little dirty with some hacking. But before we dive in, I would like to share some insight on how hackers operate and their mindset. Now, when I say hackers now, in our previous class with consultant Clifford, I believe he tried to explain the various types of hackers we have. We have the white hackers who are known as the ethical hackers or the penetration testers. We have the black hat hackers, and we have the gray hackers, and we have the kid script hackers, and a lot of them. But the three major ones is the white, black, and the gray. The white hackers are known as the ethical hackers, also penetration testers, while the black hackers are, you can call them probably the hush puppies and the Yahoo boys. The gray ones are, they have a little blend of the white and black. They work as freelancers, right? You can hire them to come and do hack for you or whatever. So now, when I say we need to know the inside of an hacker, now we're talking about the black hack now. Now, why we need to know this is to understand so that it can help us to protect ourselves from their tricks and techniques. Because the black hackers live by two principles, right? Vulnerability and exploit, right? And I want us to know this thing. Hackers are opportunists. And there are certain things that needs to be in place before hacking can take place. One, if there's a physical access, if the hacker has a physical access to your device, then they will be able to get access to that device. Social engineering, right? Now, like they say, social engineering is the art of manipulating the human mind, right, to give out their confidential details, right? So also being on the same network with the hacker. Now, this is where we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at man in the middle attack, right? This is where the hacker stays in the middle of the user and the website. So as the user is trying to connect to the website, the attacker intercepts the message. He or she can manipulate, alter, or steal sensitive informations.
Hello, sorry. Nothing is showing on the screen.
No, I'm just saying I've not shared up I've not started. I'm just sharing, giving us an insight.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So when we dive into the real practical, I will show you. So I'm just giving us an insight on how hackers think and how they target their victims. Right. So now let me just turn up my Kali. I'll share my screen now.
Sorry, sir. Are we going to turn on our own Kali too?
But if you have it on, why not? You can turn it on and you follow me. If your Kali is on. Yeah, I believe you all can see my screen.
No,
Hello?
we can't see. Okay, now we can see.
Yes, I can see, brother.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So this is my Kali Leno. So we'll be using a tool called BetaCap. Right? So what this tool does, it is a sniffing attack. It's used to capture traffic or data. Right? When you are on the same network with any device. Now, for instance, if a user log into a random Wi-Fi, right? An attacker, with the help of these two, and if it's in the same network with the user, if the attacker is also on that same Wi-Fi, the attacker can see everything that the user is doing. Most especially if the user is on a website that lacks missing headers, or probably the browser is outdated, it will be easier for the attacker to steal sensitive informations, right? So help with this, you see the models and the types of attack you can use. So what we'll be doing today is an ARP spoof attack, which is known as Address Resolve Protocol. attack. So this is what we'll be using for today. There are lots you can do on DNS proof, where you can redirect the user to another website, HTTP proxy, HTTP server. So these are the modules you can use on these tools. So net.show. So as you can see, this is my Kali IP, and this is my device that I'm using, right? So let's confirm if truly this is my IP. All right. Last year, right? So if config. So I can see this is my Kali IP. So if anybody connects to this network, right, I'll see the person. Now, if 10, 20 people connect to this IP, right, the numbers, the IPs will be stated under the IPs and their MAC address. So he or she can choose which to attack, right? So that is that. So let's go on. Right. Which is my endpoint device. 192.168.43. That
very much. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm Adegbere Ibrahim. Please, my own question is, I'm a new member. I just joined today. So please, actually, I didn't got what you have been lecturing since. I want you to please shed more light on it. And please, I think after the end of this course, I didn't know what will be our achievement and our gain, rather. Thank you, sir.
So at the end of the training, you will be given a certification, and also what I just showed us is what we call man in the middle attack, right?
Okay.
A situation whereby an attacker stays in the middle of stays in the middle of a network when the user is trying to connect. As you're trying to connect to a website, an attacker is in the middle because it's in the same network with you. Now, if you connect by Wi-Fi, right, and you are trying to log into a website, I'll be able to see what you are doing. If the website that you are logging to is not properly secured, I will steal all your information. So that is what I just displayed now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Please, if I want to do all of this, do I have, and I'm using a Windows operating system, do I have to download the Linux operating system, or will it work on my Windows operating system? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sorry,
He answered that question before now.
Sorry,
he said
please.
You should download Linux in your visual machine.
What is visual machine, please?
Sorry, please, can I take it up from there? Can we all mute our mic, please? Because it's colliding, our voices are colliding. So for the previous person who said, I think we lost Jackson for a bit there. He'll be back on the call soon. So for the previous person who said that he didn't get what has been said since the beginning of the class, don't worry. If you fill up the attendance form and your email address you provide your email address, you will be able to you'll be able to get access to all the materials, the links for even the audio session too, so you can be able to listen to it when you are chanced. So, and for the second person asking if you would have to download it, yes, Jackson, the consultant that was speaking with us previously, said yes, you would have to download it. So maybe when it comes back on the call, you can just put your question in the chat box, so we'll not have different people colliding with it. I mean, together. So he said yes, you would have to download it, and he explained it before. So maybe if we share the link for this session too, you can go back to check how we said so. Although he said he was going to explain to the lady that had issues before. He said he was going to explain to her after the whole class session. He will show her how she should do it. So everybody on the call will be able to watch it together. So yeah, that's it. And some of us have questions in the chat box. Please, your questions will be attended to. Let's give him a minute or two for him to come back on the call. Thank you. Mr. Shitu David Oluwatomisin, please help us mute your mic. Thank you. And also for those that have questions, please just put it in the chat box. Please put it in the chat box. For the attendance link, let me post it again. I think we cannot overemphasize on that, so I'll post that again for us to be able to use. So please check the chat box. Yes, please.
How long will the lectures last?
In less than an hour, we should be done. So if everybody can, it's because everybody is asking questions together. That's why it's taking its time. So let's just put our questions in the chat box. So we can be able to attend to them one after the other. We will not have to interrupt him. And he can be able to teach us what he has to teach us today too. Thank you.
The questions on the chat box have not been attended to. I've been seeing a lot of questions on the chat box, and
it's
he's
been
ignoring
noted.
it. So we won't
Sorry,
feel like if we put it on the chat box, it will be seen. So we have to unmute and talk. So we won't, because he's moving a little fast. And some of us don't even have the Linux that he's using. So it's taking us time to pick it up. And then the commands he's putting into the Linux, he's not really telling us what the commands are doing. He's just typing, talking to himself, and then he brings out an output. Then everybody becomes confused. Like, how did we get all these outputs? And because the wordings are so small, for someone that doesn't have a tech background, it's difficult to pick out what he's doing. That's what I'm trying to ask him. But that's what I'm trying to say. But then he has gone off, and then you said we should put our question on the chat box. But nothing is happening on the chat box. I've been seeing people talking about the Windows and the Zen map, and he's not addressing any of that. So it's difficult for us without tech background to even follow up on this part at all.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. That has been noted. Would inform him on that. Apologies on that too. So, but everyone in the chat box, please, I would ensure that he answers your question. Thank you.
Sorry, madam. Hope our attendance list will be pasted there.
It's been pasted again. Let me paste it again so you can see it. It's been pasted again.
Hello, please, we have signed attendance before. I think, is there any need to sign on these new links they are posting?
No, please. It's for those that didn't get the link before.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking about the list of the attendance. I hope it will be pasted so that everybody will know that yes.
Can the list for the attendance be generated and then probably shared with us next week so that we'll be sure that our names are there? Maybe for each section, each week, maybe you can generate the previous attendance so that people can actually check and be sure that their names are actually there.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Data security, no.
So we are still waiting for our consultant, right?
Yes, please. A minute. I think he's having difficulties with his network.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you're audible. You're audible. We can hear you.
Audible, sir.
Boleh tak aja riang kan?
I don't think he was right. You are, yes.
I think he has issues on muting his mic.
Who am I unlocking? Who am I unmuting, please? Abdul Rashid, okay. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello. Please answer David's question again, please.
Hello. Where else?
If you can repeat the answer to that David's question, and the one you just finished.
Oh my.
Thank you.
I didn't say you should close it. Take your phone, please. Where's my phone?
Yeah, and
Where's
the
my
installation. Hello. Okay. I am.
Hello.
Sorry,
Good
I said.
afternoon. If you are ready for me, then I can speak up. This is Abdul Rashid. I fixed my mic issue. All right. My question was pertaining on the penetration testing aspect you said concerning organization having to test their vulnerabilities on their network. So I was asking, is it that there's a specific organizations that usually give out the services for penetration testing, or organizations such as Facebook have their personal cybersecurity team that usually does that?